Hello and welcome to Testing Shastra. This is Avinash and in this session we are going to talk about page object model. So before starting the page object model, let us discuss that what are the problems with the conventional way of writing your test case. So in a conventional way of writing the test case, what we usually do is we create one Java class, okay? We create one Java class and inside this class we keep on writing the test cases in terms of methods. Let's say tc01, this is first test case, tc02, this is second test case, and so on. And here in the test case we keep on writing driver.findElement, okay, driver.findElement, and here we keep on writing the locator strategies using the by class, maybe id, name, css, xpath, and so on. But what happens with this? What is the problem with this kind of structure? Consider that you have a project which is constantly changing. Okay, there are a lot of revamp is happening, a lot of new features are coming up, existing features are changing up. So in this kind of project, your test cases will start failing. Why? Because whatever locators you have written are now changed. Okay, so now what is the challenge here? So challenge here is to go and search all of those locators which are failing and fix them. So, okay, consider that this is not the only Java class that you have. Okay, you have, let's say, 5 team members in your team. Okay, and each of them have written at least 100 test cases, automation test cases. Now, all of these 5 people start facing the problem once the UI is changed, or once the locators are changed, or they are revamped or modified. So that is really difficult to go and search in all 100, maybe 500 classes that which locator is failing and where it is failing, and to fix and how to fix them. So the maintenance of conventional test case writing is really difficult, and readability of your entire code also goes down drastically. So to solution to this problem is a page object model. Now, what page object model suggests? Okay, so let's consider this diagram over here. What page object model says? So page object model says that let's say you have an application under test, and in this application you have 100 pages. Okay, you have 100 pages. So page object model suggests that for each page create one Java class. Okay, if you are designing a page object model using Java, then you should create one Java class over here. If you are using C Sharp, then again you should create a C Sharp classes over there. Or maybe Python, in Python, Java, C Sharp, in any language you can create the page object model framework. Okay, so if each page will have its own class, one Java class, each page will be having one Java class, and inside this Java class there will be two stuffs. Okay, first one is locators, or we'll call them as web elements of that particular page only. Okay, of that page only. Let's say you are writing a page object model for sign in page, then all of the web elements present on the sign in page, you have to mention them inside one single class. And the second thing you should have is web element specific operations. Okay, web element specific operations. For example, you have a sign in field, username field, where you need to put the username. Then you should have a web element specific method or action. Okay, now your method will become enter user name. Okay, this is the modularity which page object model suggests us. Now what is the benefit of having this? Okay, consider the same scenario where you have written one page. Okay, there is one page in your application, and for that you have written one Java file, and in that file you have written locator for that page and methods. Okay, element specific methods you have written. Now consider that this page, sign in page, is changed due to some reason. Okay, then you don't have to search all your test cases. Okay, You don't have to search all your test cases that where they are failing. You just have to go to your sign in page and change the locator that you want. This is how easy it is to maintain. So that is the beauty of page object model. Okay. So what page object model suggests us? In fact, okay. So it suggests us to create one Java class. Okay, one Java class, and inside this Java class, we should write all the web elements of that page, and we should create the actions or methods specific to those web elements those web elements. Consider you should not write generic methods over here like click, enter text or something like that. What we usually write in a keyword driven framework. So here you should compulsorily write this web element specific methods itself. Okay. So you should create a good repository of all of your classes, page classes. Okay. So you should have n number of page classes over here, .java and so on. So you may have n number of .java files now. Okay. So this will become your screens or pages, whatever you call it. Okay. And on top of it, you should start writing your test cases now. Okay. While writing your test cases, you should create one class. Okay. And in that class, it is recommended to write the test cases related to that page only. Let's say that I have this page A. Then in this Java file, you should create, okay, a.java, let's say, you should write only test cases related to this class. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of dividing such kind of code? Okay, so consider that your A page is changed or some of the elements are newly added. In that case, you should have to go to this a.java file where you can add the newly added web elements or their locators, and you will simply write down the test cases. Okay, test cases in test a.java file. That's it. So your rest of the test cases will remain untouched. Rest of the .java files will remain untouched. Here also the same thing will happen. Let's say n number of files you have, n number of Java files you have. You don't have to touch any of them Java files now. You just have to change this a.java file which has all the web elements and methods and the test cases written for it. Now here few people may think that what if I want to write only regression test cases? What if I want to execute only regression test cases? In that case, TestNG will be a savior for us. Okay, because inside TestNG we have an annotation called as @test, and for this annotation we have a parameter called as groups. And under this groups parameter we can mention to which group my test case may belong. Let's say I will call it as regression. Okay, regression. That's it. So consider that this is one test case public void m1. Now this test case is there in a test a.java file, but this test case also belongs to the regression group. So whenever we will try to execute it from the testng.xml, then only regression test cases will be pulled and executed from this file. Okay, so that is the beauty of using TestNG along with the page object model. So I hope you guys have understand the exact structure of the entire page object model framework. Now let us see that how the actual problem looks like and how we can solve it. So I already have written one test case over here using the conventional way of writing our test case. So in this test case, if you observe, then we have the locators written over here. Okay, locators written over here itself, and we are invoking the methods on those particular locators of web element or web elements over here. So if I run this test case, obviously it is going to enter some username, it is going to enter some password, and it is going to click on the login button. But the same test case I'm going to create using the page object model. So let us create a Java project over here. So I already have created one Java project here, but this is empty. Okay, and inside this project I have already configured the required jars like Selenium, TestNG, and WebDriver manager that I want. So let us create one package here. So I'll create a package com, let's say com.testing Shastra dot maybe screens or pages, whatever you call it. Okay, and inside the screens package, I'm going to create one class, and the name of class will be, let's say, login page. That's it. So in this class, we are going to put whatever locators we have for the login page. So let's go on to our application. Okay, this is my application up here. And on this application, if I click on this sign in, okay, this is the home page. If I click on this sign in, it will redirect us to the login page where we can type username and password. Simple application. Okay. So let us take this URL because I want to open this URL. Okay. And this is the home page. So we will create a class for the home page also, but I'm not going to write all of those. Okay. All of the locator of that page for the sake of example. Okay. So let us take home page. That's it. Okay. So inside this home page, what page object model suggests us. So if I want to click on this sign in button, then I should create the locator for that. I should create a web element for that, which will have some locator in it. So let's try to find out this element by using the XPath or maybe some locator strategy. So I'll take it by the name. Okay, so anchor link tag contains text, and this is the text. That's it. So let's copy this and come up here, and I can create a variable with this value over here. So how can I create that? So I can simply write by maybe login equal to by dot xpath. Okay, and then this is the xpath. That's it. So simply we have created this login variable of type by. Okay, now let us create a method to click on that login button. So I'll create a method, click on sign in. Okay, I'll give it a name as sign in. Okay, click on sign in button, I'll say. Okay, this is the simple Java method I'm going to create. Public, let's say void, it is not going to return us anything. Okay, so let us write down a driver dot and some the entire setup we need to write on over here. So let's create web driver manager. Okay, dot chrome driver dot setup. Okay, I'm using the WebDriver manager to download the chrome driver.exes because I don't want to get into the version mismatch of the currently installed Chrome browser. So this will automatically help us to identify the version of the Chrome browser, and it will directly install the chrome driver.exe. So, but if I'm going to create a WebDriver instance here, okay, I cannot use it outside. So simply what I'll do is I will create one simple method. I will create some simple method over here. Let us create one class and I'll call it as maybe keyword. Okay, and in this keyword class, I'm going to write one simple method, that is open browser. And this will be the public, and I'll make it static so that I don't have to create an object to call it. And here I will write WebDriver manager dot chrome driver dot setup, and then remote WebDriver. Instead of writing WebDriver, I'm using the remote WebDriver driver equal to new chrome driver. That's it. So remote WebDriver is a implementation class of WebDriver interface. So I'll write driver dot find element. Sorry, not find element, but the get dot get, and here I'm going to pass the URL first. But anyways, the motto of this method is just to open the URL and just to open the browser, and for opening the URL I'll create one more method, that is open URL or launch URL, maybe launch URL, and let's make it public static. That's it. And here I'm going to create let's say I'll create remote driver, remote web driver. Okay, remote web driver, driver, and I'll initialize it up here. I'll make it private or maybe public static, not private static, but because I want to use it anywhere else. Okay, so let's write down driver dot get and the URL that we have this. Let's copy and paste it up here. That's it. So initial setup have been done. Okay, launch the browser and URL. So let's go up here and I want the driver instance obviously. So to click on this login button, sign in button, I should have the driver instance and I have the driver instance in keyword class. So I'll call keyword dot driver dot find element, and then by I don't have to write because I have already created a sign in variable of type by. That's it. And I want to click on this. So I'll call a click method here. That's it. This is the simple method specific to this element. Okay. Now let us see how we can create a test case out of it. So let's go here and let's create one more package. Let's create one more package com.testingshastra.tests. So under this package, I'm going to create one test case. Let's say sign in page test. That's it. So here I'll create the simple test case here. Let's say tc01 and let's make it public. So I'm using a test ng. So I'll write an annotation test @test here. Okay, that's it. So in our simple structure, what we have right now, we have the page class for home page. We have page class for login page, which is right now empty. Okay. And inside home page, we have clicked on the login button or sign in button, whatever we have. Okay. We have clicked on this sign in button and we will traverse onto the sign in page. So once we traverse onto the sign in page, okay, let's change its name to sign in page. So remember, you should give the name of your page classes starting with the page name and ending with the page word. Okay, sign in page. So page word should be there at the last. And while writing the test cases, you should create sign in page tests. So test should be at the right at the end of the line. Okay. So this will help us to quickly identify that where we have put what kind of locators we have put there. Okay, so let's come up here. In this page, we didn't have written anything. So let's start writing the locators for this page also. So I'll write the locator for this username. Okay, so this is the username. Its name is username. So I'll create it up here and by user name equal to by dot name, and this is the name. That's it. Likewise, I'll create a locator or a web element for this particular password field. So its name is pass. So let's copy it and by password equal to by dot name and this. That's it. So let's create method specific to these two web elements. So method will be enter email or phone. Okay, enter email or phone. So I'll rename it to email or phone. Okay, and I'll simply leave it as it is. Okay, that's it. So to enter email or phone, we will ask user to send some value, and this value we will pass to this methods. Okay, so let's write down keyword dot driver dot find element. Okay, and by we will not write, we'll simply write email or phone dot send keys okay, dot send keys, and here we'll pass the value. That's it. Okay, so this method is specific to enter the email or phone number. Same, we will create the method to enter the password. Enter password. We will ask user to send some password. Okay. And then not private but public, because we want these methods to be accessed outside. Okay. Then we will write down keyword dot driver dot find element, and then we have password. Okay, password dot send keys. Okay, dot send keys, and we'll pass the send keys up here. Okay, now these names are same, exactly same. Okay, that is why it is creating a problem for us. So I will write this dot password. That's it. Okay, so we have created these two methods which are specific to these two web elements. So if you observe the structure, we have one page inside which we have written two locators and two methods specific to those locators of web or the elements. Now let's go in our test case and let us start writing our test case. So first we need to go to onto the home page. Okay, so I'll simply write down keyword. Sorry. Let's undo it, and keyword, I want keyword dot open browser, so it will open a Chrome browser, and I will write keyword dot launch URL, and you in the URL we will copy this URL and paste it here. Sorry. Okay, so in the launch URL we haven't accepted anything, I guess. Home page, click on sign in button. Okay, driver launch URL. Okay, it is directly launching the URL, so I'm not going to provide any arguments to it. Okay, that's it. So this is the initial setup where we are going to launch our page. Okay, once our page is launched, we have the home page created already. So let us create object of it. Home page, home equal to new home page. That's it. Okay, that's it. And let's call a method home dot click on sign in button. Now if you look at the test case, it is pretty well maintained and easy to understand now. Okay, once we click on the login button, obviously we are going to switch back on to the sign in button. On there we will execute the method enter email or phone. So for that we need to create an object of sign in page. Sign in page. That's it. Sign in. Let's import this. Okay, and sign in dot enter email or phone. So let's enter some email. Okay, and let's enter some phone. Sign in dot enter phone. Sorry, enter password actually. Enter password, and let's say this is the password. That's it. So look at this test case. Okay, and observe the previous test case that we have written in the conventional way of writing our test case. So if you look at both of these test cases, then you will find a significant difference, and you will find this test case is pretty much readable and understandable. So whenever our sign-in page is going to change, we don't have to make any changes in our test case. So we just have to go to our relevant page classes and change these locators here. That's it. We are going to do. Okay, simple. So let's try to execute this test case and let's see whether it works or not. So let's run it. So first it will launch the browser. Now I'm not customizing open browser method over here to accept different types of browsers, but obviously you can handle that kind of situation. So for that you can watch my keyword driven framework video, which I have already uploaded on the YouTube. Okay, the home page is opened. Now it will try to click on the sign in. It have clicked and it have entered the username, and the password is not entered. Okay. Okay, this password is not entered. Let's see what is the problem with this. I guess, oh, we haven't provided any password here. So I need to call the password here. That's it. So that was the problem. But have you observed it worked? Okay, so let's try to execute it one more time. Launch the browser. It is clicking on the sign in. Clicked. Username entered. Password is entered successfully. That's it. So this is how we can keep on creating different page classes for different pages that we have. But this is not it. Okay. So there are a lot of stuffs in the page object model that we can do. So let us see what are those. Okay. Now consider that there is I don't want to write the locators in this way. I want to make them more simple than this. Okay, then how can I simplify them? So for that, we have a page factory class in Selenium, okay, which is specifically designed for page object model framework. So what page factory class does? So page factory class have one method and its name is init elements. Okay, what this init element method does? This init element method will automatically initializes whatever web elements we have written. Okay, so consider I don't want these elements to be written in this fashion. So I'll create web element email or phone. Okay, email or phone. That's it. And then I'll create web element password. Web element password. That's it. Okay, and I don't have to write this line over here. I don't need the driver instance at all now. So let's import this. That's it. This line also I don't need. Yes. Now if you come up here and type email or phone dot send keys and then value, that's it. Easy. That's it. And then password, maybe this dot password dot send keys and the password. That's it. So it becomes really easy. But to make this work, what we need to do is here in the test cases, we don't have to create object like using the new keyword. Okay, like this. So we have to create the object of sign in page using the page factory class. So for the understanding, I'm commenting it, and instead of it, I will create page factory dot init elements. Okay, and init elements method takes two arguments. First argument is the WebDriver instance that we have written in the keyword class, and the second argument it takes is the page object for which we want to initialize the elements. So let us provide the arguments keyword dot driver, and here I need to write sign in page dot class. That's it. So new keyword is also creating an object of the class, whereas init elements is also creating an object of the class. But there is a significant difference between both of these ways. Okay, so why init elements method have been given? So init element methods, what it does? So it will automatically initialize all of the instance variables present inside sign in page. So how many instance variables are there in the sign in page? So there are two instance variables in sign in page. Okay, and these two variables will be initialized. Now the simple question comes in our mind that how they will be initialized. We didn't have written driver dot find element and by dot something something. So we haven't specified any locator strategy, id, name, css selector, xpath, or maybe tag name, partial link text, or link text. We didn't have provided anything. So the question is, with which locator strategy these instance variables will be initialized. Okay, so if you are not specifying anything over here, then page factory class init elements method will consider them as an id or name of some element. But if you copy this and if you observe your application here, okay, on the sign in page, let's click on the sign in page. And on this sign in page, if you try to find the element that we have written, okay, by its name or ID, then obviously we will not find anything here. See, let's say all tags matching ID equal to this. But email or phone is not an ID of any element. So let's see whether we have a name matching with this. So there is no name at all. Okay, then what we need to do? We need to change our locator. So come up here and can you observe this username? It have name as username. So I'll copy this and paste it here instead of email or phone and change this also. Okay. So what init elements does? Init elements considers your web element as an ID or name. Whatever reference variable name you have given, that will be automatically considered as an ID or name. So this entire line is now equivalent to this driver dot find element and then by dot name, and the name is let's say username. So this entire line is now equivalent to this line. I hope you got the concept. Okay. So what about this password? So we have to change this also. Okay. So let's come here and let's see that we have any name or ID attribute for our user password field. Okay. So come here and click on this password and you can see there is a name with pass. So come here and write it like this, pass, simply, that's it. So what if your ID or name have the special characters, okay, like hyphen, hashtag, question mark, then obviously it will not work. Okay, so special characters are not allowed. So make sure that whenever you are taking web element by their name or ID, their name or ID must not have the special characters. Can you see over here? For example, let me show you something. So let's quickly go on to the home page. And if you click on any of these menus, let's say download. Okay, let's say this is download. So if you see this li tag, this has an ID menu hyphen item hyphen 363. So this will not work. If you copy this up here and if you write down this as a name, due to the naming Java naming conventions, hyphen is not allowed as a reference variable name. Okay, so it will not work up here. So make sure that whenever you are taking a web element's name, that should not have any special characters. Okay. That's it. Okay. So let's execute our test case now and let's see whether it works or not. Okay. Run it using TestNG. So it will launch the browser. It launched and it will launch the URL. It did. So URL is opened. And it came on the login page and it will try to enter the username and then password. That's it. So it works perfectly fine over here. But can you imagine over here what is happening? Now we got up with a restriction. What is restriction? Every time we have to provide the name or ID parameter over here. But what if we want to use XPath or maybe CSS selector or maybe a partial link text or something else? Okay, something else locator strategy. In that case, what we need to do? So don't worry, for that also Selenium have provided one workaround. And Selenium says that when you have alternate locator strategy than ID or name, in that case you can use @find by annotation of Selenium. Okay, @find by annotation of the Selenium. Now what this does, it is used to specify the alternate locator strategy. For example, I have an locator strategy for this, that is XPath. Okay, and I want to write a XPath for this username field. Then how can I do that? So simply write down the XPath whatever you have. Click on inspect. Click on this input, and can you see username? So let's write down the XPath for this. Input tag @name equal to this. Copy it and write it down like this. That's it. Now I can change the value of this variable as per my choice. So I'll write down email or phone. Okay, let's copy it and paste it here. That's it. Now there is no check on this reference variable name. Why? Because we have specified the alternate locator strategy. But what about this? If you want to keep it like this, we can keep it, or for this also we can use the @find by. Okay, @find by. And @find by actually can be written in two different ways. This one is the very simple way where we have to specify the locator strategy and its value. And the second way is we can write down, let's say, how equal to how dot, okay, let's say XPath, and comma, we should provide using, this is the second parameter, using equal to maybe some value. Okay, so value of this particular value means XPath. Okay, so let's go here and click on this password, and let's try to write this XPath for it. Input tag @name equal to pass. Copy this, come here and paste it. That's it. Now I can change the name of this also. Email, sorry, password, like this. So I can change the name now. That's pretty simple. Now this @find by will automatically initialize this email or phone instance with this locator. That's pretty simple. Let's come up here in the home page also, and let's reduce this complexity by reducing it. Okay, so how we can do that? So I'll simply create a web element sign in, and I will copy this. I don't require it now. And let's import this web element here. Yeah, and write down @find by, and I can write XPath equal to this. But make sure that you are writing it in double quotes, not in single quote. Let's import the @find by. Now I don't require this method here, and I'll simply write sign in dot click. That's pretty simple. Can you see how simple the test case, how simple the Java classes looks like, how simple the variables and the locators are looking like, and how simple our test case is looking now. Okay, that's it. So here also, instead of using new keyword, I will write down page factory dot init elements and keyword dot driver, and here home page dot class. That's it. Simple. Now let's execute it and let's see whether it works or not. Browser is launched. It is launching the URL now. Now it will click on the sign in button. Clicked and username and password is entered. That's it about the page object model. Okay, now let's summarize that what we have discussed. Okay, the summary is really important because in an interview I'll discuss in this discussion that what interview asks you usually and what they are seeking from you. Okay, so see here what is happening. So we have created one package called as screens or pages, whatever the name you like you can give. And under the screens or pages we have written all of the pages. A page, for example, B page, these are different classes that we have written. C page, and so and so and so on. I can write n number of classes here. Okay, and under these classes we have written simply two things. First one is web elements. Okay, web elements, and the second thing is operations. Okay, in terms of methods, obviously operations specific to web elements. Okay, but we haven't specified the web elements in normal way. We have used @find by annotation, okay, which is used to specify the alternate locator strategy. Okay, if you don't write @find by, then this web element instance will be considered as ID or name, okay, of that web element. And from these screens or pages, we have created one different package called as tests. And under this test package, we have created test for this A class or A page. Okay, test A. For B also we can create test B, and for this C also we can create test C. That's it, pretty simple. If you observe, this structure is very easy to maintain. Okay, you can easily and quickly make changes into this entire framework, and that is pretty simple. Okay, but one recommendation over here. So whatever web elements we are writing, make them as private, because we don't want them to be accessed outside. Okay, they have to be accessed inside the page class only. Okay, that's it. So we have seen that page factory we can use, page factory class. So what this class does? So in this class we have a method called as init elements. And what this method does? So this method automatically initializes all of the web element instances. Remember, it will only initialize web element instances. So if you have written string s, okay, and you haven't given any value to it, it will not initialize this string. Okay, it will only initialize web element instances. So you should compulsorily write web element instances. So if you are using page factory, you have a init elements method. Init element method automatically initializes the web element instances of that page class. Okay, and the second advantage of using init elements is it sets the lazy proxy. Okay, the lazy proxy. Now what is meant by lazy proxy? So consider that this A page is having 100 instance variables. This page B is having 100 instance variable. C is also having 100 instance variable. According to the rule of Java, whenever we create an object of A page, all 100 variables will be loaded into memory. Okay, and that may lead the memory wastage and slowing down the performance of our entire automation test automation. So what init elements suggest? So this init elements method sets the lazy proxy in the background. What this lazy proxy does? So it only loads or initializes those web elements which are invoked in your test case. So that is the advantage of using init elements method over here. So interviewer may ask you that what is page object model? Okay, so you will explain that page object model is nothing but a design pattern. Remember, it is not a framework, it is a design pattern, design styles or strategy, where we should create one page per one Java class per applications page. Okay, and in this Java class we need to write web elements and web element specific actions. That's it. Then interviewer will ask you that can we design a page object model without using page factory? The answer is yes. There is no compulsion of using page factory class inside a page object model design pattern. Okay, so it is optional to use page factory, but if you use, you will be having a lot of benefits. That is it about the page object model. So if you guys have any questions, you can drop your questions and queries in the comment section. And that's it, guys. So if you like the video, you can share with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.